Antoine had decided he must bring some big cats home, and had returned to Harlem with 2 lion cubs and 2 tiger cubs in the back of his truck.
He got the paperwork together to show that he had land and stuff like that. He fooled the lady.
Unfortunately, Antoine had gotten ahead of himself. His land consisted of his 3-bedroom apartment in the projects, as his mother and sister had decided not to go ahead with the zoo.
And then he's like, wow. And next thing you know, he's sitting with 2 tigers and 2 lions. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I got to send them back now?
Antoine fell in love with the animals, but he was finally convinced to part with 3 of them. But there was one he couldn't let go, a tiger cub he named Ming.
My relationship with Ming was very, very unique. We had a bond that was basically unbelievable.
Time passed, and Ming grew up without ever leaving the apartment. Eventually, Antoine found himself living with a 500-pound adult tiger. And in his eyes, he believed the bond with Ming had become a profound connection.
To be close up on this beautiful animal 24 hours a day is magical. So I started to really, really understand the big cat in its most intimate moments.
It's kind of a powering feeling to think that you're in control of something so big and dangerous. It kind of builds you up, but eventually there's going to be that big letdown. There are a lot of people in this country that raise tigers, and they have this false belief that my animal will not hurt me. They are wrong. That tiger will kill them. That's what they do.
But Antoine was blissfully unaware of the danger. To him, living with Ming had become a spiritual experience.
At that point, I was ready to disconnect myself from the world.
He came like the Dalai Lama, where you don't need nothing in the world. Nothing meant nothing. When I tell you, he never came outside. He stayed in the house. He really gave up. If he could have went into the mountains, he would have did that. Just forgot about all this physical world. He was dealing with himself, and because of him dealing with himself, he was able to communicate and relate to this animal. You know, self is God, the all, everything, infinite mind.
Antoine had retreated to a place where he felt he could safely live alongside this potentially lethal predator.
This animal creates identity for him. If he didn't have them, then he would have been, some kind of antisocial or, problematic individual. You can't help but gather that in some form or fashion, he feels safer with animals than he does with people. That's a good way to keep people out of your life.
Antoine felt closer to animals than humans, and felt safer inside with an adult tiger than he did outside on the streets. Even though normal to Antoine, he knew the rest of the world would never understand.
We had to put wooden boards, inside of the windows to stop him because he just had a thing about looking outside. And I'm walking with my children's mother, and I had been to look up, and he's looking outside. My kid's mother like, yo, he look at him. I'm like, oh man. And right across the street from us is an old folks home. And when it's hot out, they just want to sit in the window and just look at everything and get a breeze. They happen to look and see him. And they would say, yo, I seen a tiger. So I said, you seen the tiger? Ain't no tiger out here, man. What you talking about? There ain't no tiger out here, man. You know what I'm saying? They thought they were crazy. They thought they were actually crazy.
By incredible luck, no one outside of his close family knew about the existence of Ming. Life carried on with Antoine and his tiger, until one morning a tiny ailing creature appeared in the corridor outside.
We found a regular domestic cat that was sick and dying. And ironically, this cat wound up on my doorstep. So I brought the cat in, and